Hi guys! You guys are up close and personal with me today, a little bit. I had to move back a little bit, but let's go ahead and move a little forward. And I'm gonna move my blanket here. Rearrange. And I look like a mess. That's okay though. Anyways, so this video is going to be about braces. I got braces a little over a month ago. 1 month mark would have been December 17th. So we're about 15 or so days late. Actually 13? No. Yeah, 13. Anyways, so I wanted to talk about the consultation, and then we'll talk about like getting the braces put on and what I decided to do, and then like the braces process of the whole month. So when you go in and you decide you want braces, you do like a consultation with your orthodontist that you get either recommended by your dentist or you just look one up and find one. Anyways, you'll go in, they'll look at your teeth, and they'll let you know like what kind of jaw structures you have, kind of like teeth areas that need fixing or whatnot. Then they'll go over like braces they recommend versus braces they don't recommend. Something I highly suggest doing before your consultation is looking into braces itself, like the cost of them, the different types of braces, because there's different types. There's like Invisalign, which are like the clear trays that just pop into your mouth. And then there's clay braces, and then there's metal braces, and I'm pretty sure there's a couple different types of metal braces as well. And then I want to say there's something like clear braces. I don't remember, to be totally honest. But yeah, there's different types of braces. All that fun stuff. So I suggest looking into those, because knowing something about braces going into your consultation will make your consultation a lot smoother. Like, I went in, I knew all about, like, not everything, obviously, but, like, I knew the different types of braces. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to use the Invisalign. I didn't really want, I didn't want clay braces. I heard that they weren't, as effective as, like, metal braces, so I didn't really want to do that, but if that was, like, my option, I guess I would just do it anyways. So I knew those two I weren't, like, those were either not options for me or just, like, I didn't want them. And so I talked to my orthodontist, and he was like, oh, I'm glad you did some homework. I'm glad, because now this makes it easier for us to discuss it. We don't even have to bother discussing those two. And we went straight in, and then I ended up choosing what they suggested, which was metal braces. I don't remember exactly what they're called, to be entirely honest, but they're just metal braces. They have the wire and the brackets and everything, and that was what we chose to do. So that was the consultation. Really sweet, simple, easy, not hard at all. Then for me, I have they wanted to widen my top jaw to match the bottom jaw. They tried using an expander, and an expander didn't work. They suggested 3 options for me, which boiled down to a different type of expander, getting a tooth pulled, or getting surgery done for them to break my jaw and then adjust it the way they wanted to. I decided the expander option I just didn't want to go with, because the first one didn't work. I didn't really feel like the second one would work. And not only that, I had a lot of people, when I was discussing this on live stream on Twitch, I had a lot of people telling me, your orthodontist isn't, doing this right, that they've had an expander, and they're in a, because the expanders, you usually get them, when you're a kid, and they pull that palate bone thing apart. But I had a couple people who were either had expanders as adults or have really close people in their life that had expanders in as adults, and they were like, yeah, 'cause I had it in for a month, and they were like, my significant other or my so-and-so or myself had it for 6+ months in. Like, that's not an accurate amount of time to see if it's working or not. So I'm not really sure what the issue was there, but I decided not to do another expander just because I didn't feel like it was going to work, / I didn't know what was going on with my orthodontist. He was really pushing for the surgery. I decided not to do the surgery because I just didn't want to be honest. But also, like, something my grandma kind of made me think of was, like, we use our mouths daily. We communicate with these. We eat 3 meals a day with these. We drink fluids through our mouths. Like, it's just like, this is a constant thing that does something. And if they mess it up in some way, not saying that they would, but you know, there's always chances. If they mess it up in some way, like, it's gonna, like, change how it will end up changing how I, communicate in some way, maybe. Or it might be painful to eat, which is like, you eat 3 meals a day, so that's gonna suck. So I didn't really want to do the surgery thinking of like that. I know it's probably a really dark way of thinking of things, but I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine. I went and got the tooth pulled out, and that was so much easier. Also, something before we get into the getting the tooth pulled out and the braces portion, at this point, like around this point, I had like a really not a good feeling about my orthodontist. I won't say like who my orthodontist is or what the place is. I just don't feel like the whole like thing, except for a few people in their office, just like isn't a good vibe with me, if that makes sense. Like there is one appointment, for example, I get a call from them and they're like, "Oh, you're supposed to be here right now." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm scheduled till, so and so time." Which I think like we were an hour off, but then they looked into, so I was like, "You know what? Don't worry. I'm not that far from you guys. I'll just drive in and, if you guys can fit me in still, I'll take it." So I stress myself out, rush over there. I'm thinking, like, how is this incorrect? Because I have written in my phone and in my little planner that it's my appointment's at this time. They're saying it's earlier. And I get there and they're like, "Oh, we have you scheduled for 2 times today." And I'm just like, ugh. So there was like, and that's like it's an okay mistake, I guess, but there is like so many other different mistakes that they've made that's just like, if you can get the gist. Anyways, by this point, I'm thinking like my orthodontist is kind of money hungry. And especially since I paid my brace. I was fortunate enough, and my husband and I were fortunate enough where I could pay my braces in full. So I don't know if that like sparked something in him and he was like, "Oh, she's got money," or whatnot. I don't know. But we were supposed to have an appointment to discuss like the 3 options: the expander, the tooth being pulled, and the surgery. But I decided I didn't want to go to that appointment because they were already kind of pushing for the surgery, and I didn't want to go that route. So I decided I was going to call them and tell them what I wanted. That way there was no appointment, no stress, no dealing with any pushing or whatnot. I could just call them and tell them this is what I want to do. So they were like, "Okay, so that's fine if you want to do that. This is how it's going to happen. We're going to schedule you on this Tuesday, so the first Tuesday, and you're going to get molds done of your teeth. And then somewhere between the first Tuesday and then the following Tuesday, you have to get your tooth pulled out between those 2 Thursdays, because your braces are going to be put on the following Thursday. Or not Thursday, Tuesday, sorry." So I was like, "Okay, awesome. I'll get that scheduled." They were like, "Wait a couple days so we can make sure that the paperwork gets faxed over to your dentist, blah, blah, blah." So I did. I waited a couple days, and I called my dentist and was like, hey, I need to get a tooth pulled. And they were like, we got you. My dentist is really, really amazing. Like, it's kind of funny on how, like, super amazing dentist, not so great orthodontist. Besides the point. Anyways, I called my dentist. He was like, I got you. You'll be good. So I was like, awesome. So how I scheduled this and how my dentist helped me schedule this was I was going to get the molds done at like, let's say 8 o'clock in the morning. And then at 9 o'clock in the morning, I would get the tooth pulled. And then I would have the whole week to kind of recover from the tooth getting pulled before they put any sort of metal in my mouth. And before any sort of teeth start moving around. They were like, let's get this some time to heal before we start moving any parts around and putting metal in your mouth and doing any sort of work with your mouth with an open sore. Which I kind of agreed that is a smart plan. So I was like, okay, I'm okay with you, dentist. We got this. We planned it out. So I go to my appointment at like 8 in the morning on the first Tuesday to get molds done. Now these things kind of suck. I'm somebody that doesn't like anything going near my face, anybody touching my face. I don't like it. You have to kind of talk to me about what you're about to do, because I will smack your hand out of my face. Like, don't touch me. So, the lady, very quick, simple, easy process, took like 5 minutes. She like fills up this mold and it's freaking gigantic. I felt like my mouth was gonna like rip open. It was crazy. But the molds took like 5 minutes at most. Super easy, super quick process. And it wasn't as horrible as like you would think would be, because they dry pretty quickly. So like, as much as you're sitting there like, oh, this is so like awkward and like just like this gigantic thing, like it dries so fast. By the time you're like actually wanting it out of your mouth, it's already done. So that's pretty quick and simple and easy. But then so I got the molds done, and my appointment, again, all I was doing was the molds, and it was like 5 minutes. I ended up being there for another 20 minutes, kind of arguing with my orthodontist about rescheduling my appointment to get the tooth pulled out, because he didn't want me doing it like right then and there. He was like, you should reschedule it. And I was like, why? Like, I talked to my dentist and he explained it, and yeah, like, again, game plan. We had a game plan, and it was great. It was a well thought out game plan. And I was like, what's going on here? And he was just like just this way, like, he wasn't really like looking at me. He was kind of just sitting there trying to just, say it. And I don't know if he just thought that if he said it, like, I would just be like, okay. But he kind of was just like, well, we don't really want the teeth moving when you get that tooth pulled, because they're gonna move. And I was like, isn't that the point? You're gonna put braces on, so like the small amount of movement that is gonna be like less than a week or so of getting my braces on, like, it's not gonna be, I don't think it's gonna be detrimental. Like, is my teeth gonna fall out? Something gonna happen? Like, I didn't get it. I was like, you're not really making sense. We kind of kept going in circles. And I was like, if you can give me a logical reason other than your teeth are going to move, but that's like not even a issue in my mind, because I'm going to put on braces next week, which means my teeth are going to move regardless. So like, again, I'm not understanding the point here. He got really frustrated with me, and at some point was just like done dealing with me. And before I left, he had one of the receptionists like on the phone with my dentist, and I could obviously tell it was about me. Like, it was obvious, because it was like, she was like, well, we just don't think that she should be getting the premolar pulled out, which I had a premolar get pulled out. She's like, just don't think it's a good idea for her to get it pulled out right away. She should wait until it's closer to getting her braces on. Which I was like, how many people are getting a premolar pulled out today and getting their braces put on next week? Like, it was super obvious that they were talking about me, and I thought that was even kind of rude for them to do that in front of me. Like, just rude and, like, unprofessional, in my opinion. Because it's just, like, now, like, I now have to go to my dentist and feel super awkward because my orthodontist had his person call them and kind of, like, get in an argument with them. It was just really bad. And so I was just, like, really upset, really mad, really frustrated, and stressed out. And I'm somebody that has anxiety when dealing with any sort of dentist. I've been like super terrified of dentists my entire life, so much to the point that my dad has texted me multiple times saying how, like, proud he is of me because I'm terrified of the dentist. Oh my goodness, am I terrified. And again, I just don't like people coming near my face. And, like, I grew up with the dentist, like, the dentist my parents took me to, just, like, didn't really communicate that well, so, like, I was constantly in fear because she was just, like, always near my face, and I just didn't have it. Whereas this dentist, I told him the exact same thing I have, and he's just been an utter delight. Absolutely love this dentist. Would just straight up, like, he's the best. So I go to my dentist, absolutely terrified because, like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna say? I remember getting into the appointment, my dentist comes in, and he's like, hey, how are ya? And I was just like, honestly, I am so, like, I just straight up blurted out. I was like, honestly, I'm so sorry. I don't know what the heck happened this morning, but they just weren't having my tooth getting pulled out today. And I asked them to logically give me a reason why I shouldn't get it pulled out today. And they didn't give me a reason, really, that was, like, just that made sense. Versus, like, your argument of, like, giving my mouth some time to heal before they do anything more. And I was like, I'm just so sorry because that was just really rude of them. Like, they were rude. And I can't believe they would call you and, like, have an issue, like, make this issue even more and more and more. And I was like, so I'm really stressed out. Like, I'm stressed out getting to this appointment. You guys are probably hearing a train right now. They're so loud. So loud lately. Like, usually it's not as bad, but lately they've been so loud. I don't know what's going on. They must all have gotten new horns or something. Hey, what are you doing? Please be careful eating that bone. Anyways, got a dog eating a bone and trains going through town. It's a mess here. Anyways, so I remember just saying, like, I'm super stressed out. I was, like, super anxious. Like, it wasn't really, like, emotions everywhere, but just, like, my nerves were shot. My anxiety was through the roof. Now I have to deal with getting a tooth being pulled out, which I have not had any good experiences with in the past, so this is a fucking nightmare to deal with. And my dentist was like, yep, I kind of agree with you. Like, that none of this should have happened. They shouldn't have done this. And he was like, I'm glad, you're here. Don't worry about it. It has been handled. And if you have any other issues, let us know. And he goes, but let's just get you in that chair. And he made a joke. I don't remember what the joke was, but I remember it was really alarming. Because I was like, what? And then even his, like, dental assistant was like, what? Like, we both were just, like, shocked he made a joke, I guess. But then he was like, listen, I'm gonna keep you super distracted. You're not even gonna notice you're getting your tooth pulled. And he did. Tooth was pulled. And then he was like, oh, by the way, your tooth's pulled. And it was done and over. And it was super nice. And then I healed up. And then I went into my appointment and getting the braces. This has been super long. I hope you guys hate this video. Oh my goodness, we're 20 minutes in. Holy shit. Anyways, so I go in to get my braces done, and the whole process of getting braces was super weird. I thought it would take freaking forever, and I think it only took about like 50 minutes. I was actually shocked because it was under an hour, and I thought it was going to be like hours and hours and hours long. Like, I brought headphones to listen to music to kind of pass the time. Anyways, so they like put this giant, like, you know, I don't remember what that game is called, but you know that it's a popular game where you put this like weird device in your mouth and it kind of like opens your mouth up, and like you're trying to say a phrase to somebody and somebody has to guess what you're trying to say. That game. If you can think of that device where it just opens your mouth up super wide and you can see everything, that's kind of what they put in your mouth. It's not uncomfortable. It's everything else they're trying to do that's kind of uncomfortable because you can't really control your mouth that well. I feel like, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. So first they put that in, they put in some cleaning, like not like necessarily cleaning like when you go and get your mouth cleaned at the dentist. It's more of just like a really quick cleaning, like they kind of brush everything off, clean it up real quick, super quick, like not full in detail cleaning like the dentist, just a quick once over, if that makes sense. So they do that, and then for me, I have metal brackets. So the metal brackets came in this weird like hot glue kind of form thing. So they put the hot glue so they put glue on my teeth, and then they popped on the hot glue like tray or something. I don't really know what to call it. And then they let the glue kind of dry down on the brackets, and then they just rip the hot glue off. And it's actually not painful. It's just kind of like weird to feel like that. It's weird to feel that, if that makes sense. It's not painful, I promise. Then, once you have your brackets on, they do like, you can, they'll get like the wire in. So they have to open every bracket. Every bracket has a door. And they pop those open and put the wire in. And then they pop it closed. And that's kind of painful a little bit. Granted, your teeth are going to be just a little sore because of all of what's going on. And these things are glued to your teeth. So, it's a little painful, but not, it's like slight uncomfortable, is what I would say. Not necessarily painful. So that happens, they put the wire in, they close all the doors, and then you can like choose a color if you want, or just have like clear rubber, like, because I have black. I don't think you guys can see that well. Maybe right here. I have black rubber band stuff on my brackets because I am clearly into black. So I have that, and then they had me, and that was basically it. The only thing I've had to do other than that was wear rubber bands on my canines. I have one canine that's super high up, and then they had me do it on the other canine because it was somewhatly in the right place. They just wanted it more in the right place. Right now I only have it on one canine, which was the one that was super high up, because I'm pretty sure this one is finally in the place that it should be. So I'm not going to wear any rubber bands on that one, and if they don't like the placement on it, I'll just put the rubber bands back on, I guess. But that was the whole process of getting braces. Now let's talk about the whole like month span. I'm actually really tremendously shocked with how much my teeth have moved within a month. Like, I used to have a gap in between my two front teeth, and I actually don't now. I mean, I kind of do like right at the bottom, but it's a very, very small, like very, very small gap compared to what I had before. And it's kind of shocking because I've only had these on for a month and it's already like done. also just like how like I had a super high up canine, like super high up canine, and it's relatively like a lot lower, which is kind of shocking. And just like other teeth, like instead of being slightly crooked, they're more straight now. It's just really shocking to see. This is only the first month and my teeth look like 100 times better already. They're not 100% the best by no means, but it's only been a month and I'm already like really shocked and really quite pleased with the progress we're already seeing. I promise it's not as painful. You'll have days where they're painful, but it's what I've noticed is it's like kind of my own fault. Like it really depends on what you eat. And I know that's going to be shocking. I'm somebody that's huge into eating like fried foods and snacks and chips and pretzels and all these different things that are not good for braces. Like here recently, I ate pizza and breadsticks, and my teeth kind of are a little sore now because the breadsticks were a little tough and whatnot. Obviously it's bread. But yeah, it's like it depends on what you eat. Sometimes something you can eat can make your teeth really hurt. So I highly suggest just eating soft foods. Don't be scared to try stuff out and see how you do. But if you're hurting the next day, soft foods. Please do not make it worse for you. Don't do it. Also, another thing I learned was they give you wax, and I tried not to use this because I was like, I don't think I need that, because like I had an expander in my mouth for a month, so like, I don't think I need that. You'll need it. You will need it, okay? Use it. Don't be like me, who tried to be stubborn and say I don't need it when I needed it, and I actually got a huge cut on the inside because these ones right here cut up the inside of my lip like really, really badly. Highly, highly suggest using the wax whenever you feel any sort of discomfort, because if you don't use it, it's going to become a gigantic, disgusting mess. Use the wax. And then cleaning is actually pretty easy and simple. Here's what I suggest to you guys who have braces. Obviously use whatever toothbrush they give you or any toothbrush they suggest to you. Also, use the toothpaste they give you or suggest to you. I actually legit had to stop using the one I currently use and ordered the one that they suggested, because I use one that has like a whitening product in it or whatever, and they were like, the problem with those is that you can't really brush wherever the bracket is because it's obviously glued down on your tooth. So like when the braces come off, you'll have these like squares of just like different colored, like it's obviously a different color than what your actual teeth are because you're not brushing that area. So again, use whatever they would suggest using. I had to buy toothpaste just for this. It sounds silly, but it's okay. So use what they suggest to you, and then I brush my teeth every morning and every night for 2 minutes, and then anytime I eat, I water pick my mouth, and in the mornings I water pick, and at night I water pick. Highly suggest using a water pick versus any other sort of like flossing, because it's just very quick and simple and easy to use. And also, like, it's not a hassle. Like, other, like, ways of flossing, you have these, like, threaders where you have to, like, thread in between your braces. Fucking hassle. Don't do it. Just get a water floss. Simple, easy, quick. You're done. And then I just use mouthwash at night. So it's brush my morning in the morning, water floss, and then anytime I eat during the day, water floss, and maybe brush my teeth if I feel like they feel weird. Because I'm somebody that if my teeth feel weird, I'll brush my teeth. I know I'm weird. Anyways, so water floss. And then night, it's brush my teeth, water floss, and mouthwash. And then I'm done. That's my routine. And that's what I suggest to you guys, and that's that. This is about a 30-minute video. I hope I explained this whole process that I've been through very well. If you guys want more updates, like every month, I will do more. I'm probably going to do more anyways, because I want to see what I had to say versus each month. Maybe it will get better, because right now I'm suffering. I want a piece of candy so badly. It's not even funny. But yeah, we'll do another one probably on the actual month, which will be the 17th of January, which is only, like, a couple weeks. But still, we'll do another month. I'll actually see the orthodontist by then, so we'll see how my orthodontist appointment goes. And yeah, that's that. And I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.